Mr. Secretary, welcome to Columbia. You've had a magnificent day, interaction with students, interaction with our administrators. You've met with President Bollinger. I'd like to talk about your origin story,
Sure.
How you got started. You're the son of immigrants, a refugee from Cuba.
Yes.
How did that impact your view of service and what you've become today?
Ironically, I was telling the president earlier today that, when I was a young child living on 42nd Street, my parents would actually, put me in a stroller and walk me around the Columbia campus because it was so beautiful and majestic. But we did immigrate to this country from Havana, Cuba. Both my parents worked 2 jobs practically their entire lives here in New York City.
Can you talk about the importance of place a little bit, having a sense of place?
Sure.
Whether it is your home or where you went to high school or coming into a campus like this?
That's actually a very important topic to many of our service members. My family and I moved actually 17 times in 23 years. We were married to my wife Betty. We had 4 children. And they've seen the entire country. They've seen many parts of the world. But they always would come back to New York. What the city symbolizes in terms of accepting refugees from all over the world, this amazing mix of people who come here, and they're all Americans and they're proud, and the Statue of Liberty and everything it represents. It's really special.
What do you think is important to know about, or that you wish you knew about, in transitioning from public to private to public life?
Sure. And transitions can be difficult. But I would argue that, the biggest, one of the most important characteristics in successfully being able to transition is confidence.
Hey,
the confidence that you gain, that you just don't have, but the confidence that you've built because you have a subject matter expertise, you have a life experience that has given you that confidence, such as so many of our service members have in the military, and particularly in the Department of the Navy and the Marine Corps. That confidence is important. That sense of discipline, of perseverance, of loyalty to the institution, that makes a big difference when you're hiring veterans, for example, into a private sector company.
Mr. Secretary, you've talked about traits of leaders and traits of teams. You talked about commitment, mission, empathy. You also mentioned at one point curiosity.
I did.
Tell me about that as a virtue or a value.
Even as a young child, I saw those ships on the Hudson River. Even I think at an early age, later on when we moved out to Astoria, Queens, I'd go down by Hell's Gate and I'd see, sailing vessels, power vessels going through Hell's Gate, which is one of the most challenging water affairs in our country. And I was always curious about how those ships worked, how they operated, who was on them, right? And I think subconsciously, curiosity drives your passion. And later on in life, when you get ready to go to college, I became an electrical engineer because I was fascinated by how things worked. And I wanted to figure out how the lights turn on, how do you power things, and then you make those discoveries and you grow.
This is the very serious part.
Okay.
1980s Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
By the way, I actually spent a half day with Tom Cruise rolling out Top Gun Maverick on Coronado in San Diego.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, so it was an amazing experience. And yes, it's definitely Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. Columbia alumnus Herman Wouk. Which movie did he write? I'll give you a choice. Multiple choice.
Okay.
Multiple choice. You got a 33% chance.
Okay.
Crimson Tide, Hunt for Red October, Caine Mutiny.
Caine Mutiny.
There it is.
But I'd like to set you straight on this matter right here and now.
I now remember.
Okay. I may or may not have a couple tattoos under these suit sleeves.
Sure.
And I think that there is some informal tradition among cadets and midshipmen to have tattoos and so on. Would the following tattoos be allowable in today's Navy?
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Aquaman, Popeye.
Absolutely. Popeye's a sailor.
Excellent.
We have no problems with tattoos at all. So.
Excellent, excellent. It seems like you're qualified so far to be Secretary of the Navy.
All right, I love
But the real test to see if you're Secretary of the Navy is how good are you at Battleship?
Oh, I was very good at Battleship.
Okay,
actually.
all right.
And I love the game.
Oh, he's Subway Battleship.
Well, we might need to have the Secretary sign this and put it into our archives here at Columbia.
Okay, sounds good.
Mr. Secretary, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ben. It's great being with you here at Columbia University.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Cheers.
Thanks.